Hey here. Today I will be streaming on my very own, and we'll be taking a look at Aven Colony. If you've missed it, then Aven Colony is out on Tuesday, July 25th. So we're taking an early look. This is a not quite complete build, so stuff might happen, but we should be totally fine. Without further ado, let's just jump into it. We'll do the first mission of the game on normal and see how we fare. Now, Aven Colony has a single player campaign, and so when you play through the campaign missions there will be an actual story, so things will happen. You'll explore Aven Prime.
Welcome to your new colony.
And basically it will guide you how to advance, what you should be doing, how to take care of your colony. So first off, build a water pump. That's pretty straightforward. Let's take in the scenery for a sec. Cool. So let's build some water over here. You can see all the, so the darker the blue areas here, the more water you get per hour out of them. So we want to find an area that's kind of decent. Like ideally we would go over here, but because our base isn't up here yet, I'm not going to do that just yet. I'll put it here, and then we'll build our tunnels over to the water. The tunnels basically transfer the power through the base, so everything needs to be connected via the tunnels. Now let's speed up the game a bit so this doesn't take as long. Here we go. Now that's the first objective done. Easy enough. Let's see what it wants us to do next.
Your colony could benefit.
Build a farm. So basically we're establishing early infrastructure just so people can survive in our new settlement. So you can either see there are two types of farmhouses we can build. Either the regular farm that operates for half the season, half the year, but they don't really work during the winter. For the winter periods you would want to build greenhouses that operate at 50% capacity during the winter. But for now, because we don't have a lot of resources, we're just going to build a normal farm.
That the mission objectives from my team are here only to guide.
Let's see here.
While several of these objectives are necessary in order
Another objective, let's see, a wind turbine. Wind turbines are the cheapest ways of getting power, so they're really good early on. And there's a little trick to them actually. When over time, these over here, which you can use, these geothermal vents you can use to generate power, but if you leave them unattended for a while, they will release toxic gases that can kill your colonists. So you can use these wind turbines in fan mode actually to blow back the toxic gases and protect your colony. We're not going to need that on this level, unless we never take this, which we will in a bit.
I think another mining facility.
But that's a little trick and a little handy thing that the wind turbines can be used for. Now, wanting me to build a mine, use the cheapest. We have a couple of mines nearby, a copper one here and an iron one up here. Now, copper and iron we want to create nanites, which is basically the main currency, if you will. You use it to build everything. So you'll want to have a steady flow of nanites to be able to build things, basically. So we're going to build one of each just to get up and running. Rewards. I do love myself some rewards. Get some food for our colonists. Now, you can see the water currently isn't great, so we should probably upgrade our water pump, which is cheaper than building a second one, but of course it doesn't quite give you the same as having two of them. But over time you'll want to upgrade all your buildings. we're running low on power, so let's do something about that, which the game agrees with. So let's go over here and build a generator on this vent, so we avoid the toxic clouds and so we get a lot of power for the base. Hi guys. Sorry, I completely forgot to look at the chat. Jono is busy at work right now, so he left Aven in my hopefully semi-capable hands, and we'll see how we do. So now we've hit the winter period, which means a lot of our production, like normal, if we had some of these solar panels, they would only work at 50% capacity during the winter, because obviously we don't have as much sun during this period. The farm here doesn't work at all. As you can see, it doesn't produce anything because everything is frozen solid. So we'll be building some different farms a little later to make sure that we have food output during the winter as well. Now obviously we need a place for people to live. Let's put it here. Speed it up a bit. So yeah, anyone to just might have joined, welcome. We're taking an early look at Aven Colony, which comes out on Tuesday, July 25th. On Steam, PS4 and Xbox One. Oof, nice, nice. Yeah, Escapist 2 is out in about a month, so it's going to be very exciting. Looking forward to that one. And we'll certainly be streaming some of that in the future as well. Now this I'm building here, nanite processor, is basically one of the most important buildings, basically, because we need it to produce our building currency. Obviously, it requires certain resources, so it doesn't just create nanite for you if you don't have either copper ore or calco sludge, which is a more costly alternative to these minerals, but it doesn't run out once you've built it. So it's a long-term solution that we'll be building in a while. Probably be we need the base up and running before we start, because it's an expensive process to start making calco sludge. So we'll do that later. Now we need to expand our storage before it fills up. Now see, our food is still pretty low, so we should probably build an actual greenhouse to make sure that we have food for the winter as well. Now let's see. We can build, or we can make it harvest all sorts of food types. Melons are typically easy. Most green maps, so to speak, can have melons everywhere, so they're a safe bet for resources. Some of the other ones can be a bit trickier to find proper land for. You can see as the color changes of the different squares, the greener it is, the better, and obviously if it's red you don't really get anything out of it. So let's just build some melons, or rather a farm that gets us some melons.
Well done. I'm pleased with the progress.
Nanites for reward works fine. The most famous, yeah, probably worms. But you know, we do have a lot of other games to play around with, of different genres, so you probably know a lot of them. Escapist, yeah, being one of them, of course. And this from Tuesday onward. Immigration Center. Now, this building is quite important as well, because this ensures that we actually get new people to the colony. So if you don't have an immigration center, the colony will never grow, because people won't come from anywhere. So you definitely need one of these as well. But of course, when more people come to your base, you need to make sure you have more housing. So It's not quite filled up yet, so we're totally fine. But we'll have to keep an eye on that as well. And it looks like we need to have more water as well. Let's see. And let's build it up here. Now that we're kind of close. So now winter is coming again, which is gonna cut some of our production in half.
Here's your next population growth target.
That's gonna be fine. So habitat is a bigger version of a house. So this is the small, the first building you'll be building for people, an outpost, but it only holds 16 inhabitants, so that's not quite enough. So we're building a habitat, which is a bigger version that can be upgraded to hold quite a few people. So that's something we definitely need. Let's see here. Let's just put it over here. And as you can see here, we will be running out of power when the habitat is built. So we will upgrade our geothermal generator to make sure that we have enough power. And we should probably also upgrade this, our drone hub, to make our buildings and upgrades quite a bit faster. Yeah, building with just the one drone is not the fastest affair. Let's see, our resources, we still need to get more food. I mean, we might be fine when it's not winter, but we should up the food production for sure. We can also, of course, simply upgrade our farmhouse, which we're just going to do, just to save some space initially. And the same for the water pump. No, that's already maxed. Let's do this one. Alright, mission. Intake fans. So, managing the air quality is quite important. You have two types of fans. Intake fans or air filters. The intake fans are cheaper, easier to make, but if you have toxic gas, for instance, in your base, that will infiltrate the intake fans. So to protect yourself from that kind of thing, you build air filters instead, simply because they are closed off, if you will, so they're more safe. Let's build one of those. They also cost a lot more though. Require more power and cost a lot more nanite. But we need to keep our air quality at a recent level or people will complain. And if people start complaining, they stop being happy with you. And if they're unhappy with you, you get kicked out and lose your game. So definitely want to make sure that people appreciate what you're doing for them. You know, making sure they have enough food, enough water, and you know, the air is fine and all that stuff. So we actually need an intake fan as well. So let's build that over here. So a little shortcut. This is normally where you click to build tunnels, but a little pro tip for when you guys get the game: if you're getting it on PC, you can hold the spacebar, and then you get the tunnel. You can place it anywhere, so you can drag and drop, or drag, if you will, more easily. A little pro tip. Let's see, Trade Hub. So Trade Hub is another important building, because you can either get resources that you don't have from somewhere else, or you can get rid of things you maybe have too much of. So we'll build one of these. Well, I think I deserved a bit of mocking in our worm stream last week, but hopefully I'm pulling this off alright. At least I'm not missing my shots on this one. Let's see. Trade hub almost complete. There we go. So the trade ship's already here. Now, for this, you can set it up to either export stuff you have too much of. Like obviously, nanites typically, unless you have a very high production, you wouldn't want to get rid of these because you're going to need them for everything you build, absolutely everything. Same for upgrading and repairing buildings, you need nanites. So I never really get rid of these. Melons, we could, just to get some porridge, which, you know, trading food for different food, that is totally fine, so let's do that.
I'd like to facilitate
that's what the mission wants anyways, is perfect. Another drone hub. Alright, let's do that. So, where are we gonna expand to? Expand this way. So basically, as you expand your base, you need to make sure that drone hub or your construction drones can reach anything you want to build. Because if they can't get to it, they can't build it. So as you expand your base, you need to make sure that the construction drones kind of follow along. They have to be at the edge of your map as you expand it. Because building this here will expand my reach quite a bit further toward these mineral deposits, allowing us to expand our base further. So now I can suddenly reach quite a bit further, as you can see. Which means we can now build a path to these deposits that we will want to take advantage of.
Hey, there's a cargo pod nearby.
Pick up a cargo pod. Which one? Let's see. Oh, this one. No drones in range. Okay, so need to build another drone that's closer to. Let's see. Can we get? We can. Right out here, which is, yeah, it's fine. So our base, colony is getting along quite nicely. Water is fine. We need to upgrade that
I
a
need
bit.
your help to balance our supplies on the
Export
colony.
160 rice. Do we have any rice production? That's the big question. Rice. 4 rice. We basically don't. So let's maybe make some rice. Let's see. We have a decent location down here. 6 per hour. 6.2 is even better. Let's put it here then. Yeah, let's do that. So now they're in reach of this cargo pod, we can pick it up. And the cargo pods, they can basically save your life sometimes if you are. They've saved my life, or the lives of my colonists, I guess, many times if I was very low on nanites, because oftentimes they will include nanites, so you can get some from that. So let's do that. The only thing you have to keep in mind when you pick these up is that your storage cannot be full. If it is full, even if you, obviously your nanites cannot be full, but if your storage in general is full and there's more than just nanites in it, then you can't pick it up because you don't have space for the other things. So that's something to keep in mind as well. Right, now that we're producing some rice, let's start this contract. Now it's not gonna. We're already on our way, over 110 rice already, so we're getting there. Should be able to do this in no time.
Your colony could benefit.
Speaking of storage, now this might be one of the buildings you'll be building more often, most often actually, because as your production ramps up, your storage will fill very quickly all the time. So that's already maxed. So yeah, you need to build a lot of these eventually. Let's just put it here. So winter is coming. Oh, nice one, nice one. Yeah, I've played quite a bit of this already, and we'll be starting over on PS4 as well. Because as you might come to know about me, I'm a trophy hunter, so I will be going for the platinum trophy on this game for sure. So I'll be redoing everything on PS4.
We have a new request for you.
Energy batteries. So one of the things you will need to basically cover your entire base are lightning towers. Now, to build one of these, you need at least one energy battery in your base. Basically, the energy battery holds the temporary power that comes from a lightning strike. So as long as you have at least one of those in your base, you can start building these. And you will want these, like I said, to cover your entire base, because they literally protect your base from being hit by lightning. And if stuff is hit by lightning, it gets blown up, or at least takes damage, depending on the structure that's hit. So we want to build 2 of these to just cover the entire base. Yeah, that's the... I was hoping someone would pick up on that, Mr. Cat. Because winter is coming is perfect this time of year. Another new mission, let's see. 3 additional structures. So now we can build whatever we want. So let's see what we actually need. Food is fine. Water could be better. So let's just build 1 more water pump. Let's see here. That's fine. It's not the best location, but it's fine. I accidentally built the trade hub on top of one of the really good spots. I should not have done that. So, when you place the water extraction buildings, you can either use these 2 that actually require water in the ground and are the most effective, or you can use atmospheric condensers that can produce water anywhere, even in the desert. It just takes longer. So you're never out of water, at least.
Your progress is satisfactory. I've been authorized.
Let's just get more nanites. You can never have too much of that.
I need your help to
We
balance
need
our
to
supplies
start
on the...
expanding our base, and we need to get some more people on here. More food. We don't have any broccoli production, I see, so let's make some of that as well. This will do fine. There we go. Let's actually start mining these as well. So like I mentioned, iron we need for our nanite production. Potash we can use, for instance, to improve some buildings. So the farm, for instance, can be set to use potash, which then increases its productivity for a while. So it can be really handy if you want to just make your farms more effective. Now this material, sorium, we use for power. So we have some buildings here called sorium generators that are really powerful and create a lot of power, but they require this mineral. And we don't have a lot of it. We have 2 deposits. They will last quite a while, so you know, you could play a couple of hours at least with these 2. Yeah, I mean, personally, I've just been calling it Aven, because you know, we don't have any other game called anything like this anyway, so Aven should be quite specific for most people.
Your colony could benefit.
Upgrade a farm, perfect. So let's do that. We still have our normal farm over here. Now, by upgrading it, it starts taking up more land, but that's totally fine. We don't have anything around here anyway. There we go. Took a bit more land. Now it's more efficient as well.
Ori has authorized me.
Research center. Okay, so the research center is an important building as well because it allows for new technologies. Basically, we will need this building to be able to create our alternative for nanites, or for nanite production. The Calco sludge I mentioned early on is a thing you need to research in the research center to be able to build. And then you need the chemical plant to actually make your... see here, when you place a farm, you can make calco spores, and you can make those into a calco sludge using a chemical plant. But yeah, that's the alternative way to get nanites, which is the long-term one because it doesn't require any mineral deposits at all. Let's speed up the research center a little bit. Okay. Now that's built, so let's research something. We can start by doing the Kelko sludge, just for now. So we have it.
Hey, Chief.
And cerulean glow apparently. Let's see here. There we go. So it's going to research those two for us now. Let's see here. This farm can still be upgraded, so let's do that as well. Basically, we, instead of building more and more buildings, we should just, or I tend to keep upgrading everything I have, simply because it takes up less space. And just having something that isn't fully upgraded seems like a waste to me. Let's see, every farm is upgraded. Oh, this one is not. Alright. Ooh, we're low on power, it seems like. So, ooh, we have another power source up here, so let's build on that. Can we get around? We can. It's perfect. So, the question is, can my drone reach? It can. It's perfectly placed. Nice. So we're going to use that to get a bit more power for the colony. We're fine during the summer period, but during winter, the power is reduced quite a bit because everything is less effective. Now we're back in the summer, or spring I suppose. Let's see how the research is going. Kelko sludge almost done, so we can move on to our cerulean glow. Ooh, this one, you can see here, shows me that a building doesn't have workers, and that's definitely this one, because it's too far away from everything else. So let's just build a habitat up here to get some people close to the job. Basically, you want your colonists to commute as little as possible, because they will be unhappy if they have to travel far to get to work, and if it's too far, they just won't take the job at all. So you have to stay on top of that. Make sure that you can, with the overlays over here, you can check the commute. So basically, the darker the color, the worse it is, just like with the land. So if you have something that's red, you want to do something about it. If it's a in this case is a job, which just indicates that there's no hotel or no habitat or other building nearby. It can also be displayed on the habitat itself, showing that there aren't enough jobs nearby. So it can show you either way that the commute back and forth is too long. Alright, chemical plant, 20 power. Is this upgraded? It is. So maybe let's build some alternative energy. So these solar panels are, of course, they are more effective than the cheapest option, but they only run at half capacity during winter. So right now they're only running at half power, so to speak. But it's fine. We just need a little bit to get over the lack of power right now. Let's build some more. Can never have to have too much power. Cool. So chemical plant. Here we go. Over here. Now we need this to actually process a lot of our stuff. Like I mentioned, to create Kelko sludge, for instance, you need the chemical plant. So let's build that here. So it leaves a bit of space in between. Yeah, let's put that here because I want to put habitat or something here, so we have people living close by to the stuff over here. So let's see. Chemical plant almost done. Now, you can set it to start making certain things, but of course it requires you to actually have the resource required for that product. So we can make corn syrup, but we have almost no corn, so that's going to last about 2 seconds. So we can't really make anything right now. We'd have to start making growing some corn. So maybe let's just do that actually, because that grows quite well here as well. So we set that up, and then let's set up some more housing as well, just for good measure. Let's see, so there is, every mission has kind of one set of quests that will take you through the mission. So by completing those, you will eventually finish the actual mission. But there are also other optional quests that simply give you rewards if you finish them. You don't have to do them at all, you can ignore them. Like this export broccoli one I can ignore forever. Technically reach population I can ignore, it's just I get a reward for doing it. In this case it's actually required, but once you get to a certain point, when it's several hundred, then you don't have to do that. Then it's just the main through line of quests that you have to do. Yes, hi Rourke. This is DK Shadow indeed. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, KA totally works. That's what my friends call me, so please, KA. So, cerulean glow. So we need to make that, which we make here in our chemical plant. So we need Entari and Sino Sage, which are two things we're not growing at all currently. They're still made in the farms, but they are non-food products. So we need to enable this to make them. So yes, so Entari. Let's make that down here. And another one, the Sino Sage, which doesn't grow quite as well, but let's do it here anyway. Should be fine. Oof, now we have a Sharp Storm, which basically destroys your base if you don't have plasma turrets to shoot it down. You can either auto-repair your base as you go if you want, but that is technically the most expensive option. So what you would want to do in this case instead is you head into your colony control panel, you go to your powers and policies, and you turn on drone auto-repair. This, I believe, requires the research center, so once you have that you can activate this, and as long as you don't hit 0 nanites, this will remain activated. And what this will do is now the drones automatically fly around, repairing everything that's taken any kind of damage. So they basically keep your base alive as long as you have nanites to pay for the repairs.
I have a request for you from the
Win a referendum. So as soon as you hit 100 colonists, you will start having referendums, which basically means you have to make sure that everyone in your colony likes you and likes what you're doing. Because if they don't, they will tell you about it, and that's not a good thing. So let's just activate this for now, even though we can't actually really make it. We can now, because this just finished, but yeah, the production is going to be slow initially. But we need to make 200, which is going to take about a minute at this speed, probably. Let's see, everything is looking fine. We're going up on food and water. Storage is okay for now.
Time for a referendum
Gonna have to build another storage facility soon, or upgrade the one we have. Let's just do that. So let's see, where's the water? Let's see this way. So at some point, because I've done this mission before, we will start seeing things from coming in from the water, which is not something we want to deal with. So we want, ideally, you can.
Seem happy with your performance?
Yeah, I'm gonna basically build some cannons over here in a bit to protect our base from things that might come from over here. Spoiler alert.
I'd like to facilitate a trade.
Let's now export the cerulean glow we've just produced. There we go. Ooh, the air quality is not great. We need to do something about that for sure. Let's see here. Yeah, it's not great down here, so we need to fix that. So we build some more air filters.
I think you're on track to win this referendum.
Doing pretty
But
well
here's
on the
feedback I've
referendum.
compiled from
That's
your
good.
citizens.
Ooh, another sharp storm. But now at least we have our drones activated, so they will repair the base when it gets damaged. Yeah, the air quality is probably not... It takes a while for things to improve, so just by building an air filter doesn't automatically immediately fix your air problems. It takes a while before the air is actually filtered and fixed.
Good news.
So your problems don't solve themselves immediately. But build the thing and it will happen. So we've almost exported some glow. There we go. So our storage is actually full. So even though we upgraded the storage depot just a few minutes ago, it already filled up again. So let's upgrade it one more time. See how long that's gonna last. Which is probably not very long, to be honest.
I've been authorized to provide
Let's get some more of that. So we're doing fine on the happiness scale. Let's see, anyone unhappy anywhere?
Congratulations on your referendum victory,
They're
boss.
not too happy down here. So let's see what the problem is. Commute. So this is the thing I talked about. They will let you know if their commute sucks, and because the nearest habitat is over here, it's not that far, but it's too far for them. So we're gonna build another habitat down here to make sure these guys are happy.
I have some thoughts
2
on
new
which
missions: bar and
the colony
grill,
could benefit.
skyscraper. So let's just start with the skyscraper. Let's build that. Since we're expanding this way, let's build it down here. The bar and grill, this is a category we haven't built yet. So these are basically service structures. These make your people happier. This is everything from food to entertainment to consumer products to VR, which is pretty awesome. And of course your hospitals. And without these, your people will die if there's an outbreak of some nasty alien bacteria, which will happen. So we'll need one of these at some point. But we need a bar and grill, so let's build one of these. We want it semi-close to where people are living, because that's where it's going to improve the quality of life the most. Ooh, Mr. Cat, we'll get that sorted after the stream. Unless, of course, Jono does it now. He is in the next room working along, but he is also in the chat. Hiding somewhere.
We'd like you to expand your colony.
Let's see, population of
Yeah, some
200
thoughts.
and 4 random buildings. Okay. So the population, housing is only 50% capacity, so we have room for a lot more people without building more habitats. So that's fine. So let's build some more structures. Now, storage, like I said, filled up very quickly again, so we'll have to keep building more storage depots. There's no space there. I'll build it back here and then make a path. Because if people can't get to various buildings, they will complain about it. So we've fixed that. Everything has to be... Imagine if you lived on an alien planet, you would want everything to be perfect, because the aliens were enough to worry about, or whatever else was out there. Let's see. We're running semi-low on power. Let's build some more solar panels as well. Alright, we're doing fine. So, one more structure. Let's see if we are defended down here. Getting close. Let's build another lightning tower. Better safe than sorry.
Governor, during our initial exploration,
Yeah, Jono works from the
our
shadows.
scouts encountered an unusual alien life form. This organism is only marginally intelligent, but it does pose a great
So as you can
danger
see,
to our colony
a story unfolds as you play these missions.
We call it the Creek.
You will be slowly introduced to various people as they explore the planet alongside you. So while you might be doing all the hard work, you have some people backing you up, telling you what's going on, telling you about various research that's been done or that is ongoing about Aven Prime, which is the planet we're on.
A new mission is available.
Scrubber drones. Now these are very important. Unless you have a lot of plasma turrets, these are very important. Basically, if your buildings get infected by alien spores, these buildings will save you. They will basically scrub your buildings clean. You can, like I said, set up plasma turrets, which are these little guys, and they will shoot down anything that comes your way. If they make it in time, but if they don't and something attaches to your buildings, you will want the scrubber drones to remove it right away. Because if you don't remove it fast enough, it spreads. Yeah, I think there is. Let's see. I do believe subtitles. Should have totally turned this on. There we go. So that should make it easier. Yeah, I should have done that earlier because I don't actually have any game audio on, so I do not hear the game and the dialogue at all myself.
I have some ideas on how to...
So now we're being introduced to all the drones. So these were the normal ones that you use to build your base, to expand, to upgrade, and everything. These are the scrubber ones that protect your infested buildings, and in the end, last year we have the police drones that you will need to keep down crime. Now, as you place a police drone, you'll see some of your map turn red. The redder it is, as always, the worse it is. So this area seems to be the worst. So let's place police drone here, and that of course, oof, there we go. Now we have something coming for our base, and it's flying from over here. These little guys, they will infect your buildings if you let them. And because I don't have any cannons, they will do that. So now they will slowly destroy your buildings and start spreading to nearby buildings. And if you don't have these scrubbers, your base will get slowly eaten and destroyed. It'll be gone. So you want to build some of those. Ooh, I don't know those from the top of my head. I would assume they're listed on Steam, and of course if you're playing on console you don't have to worry about that. I think if you check the Steam store page, the requirements are probably going to be listed there. Yeah, cannons I will do. Right now it's fine because this is taking care of it, but once it's just this is the easy solution. The cannons are better because they protect you from more things, but they also cost more power, which I'll probably run low on power come winter. So let's see. Yeah, all this is upgraded. Now, next mission.
I have some thoughts on ways.
Retail center. So this is one of the other service buildings that will keep your people happy. Speaking of power, we don't have quite enough to actually build this. I'll still put it down, and then just expand the power a bit immediately. Let's put it down over here, and then build some more power. Don't want to run out of that because that puts us in a bad spot. So let's see. Let's try building. We have a bit of spare power even in the winter, so let's try building one of the cannons. Basically, as long as the cannon is attached to your base, it gets power. So you could even build, if you wanted the cannons to be further away from your base to shoot things from a distance, you could do that, provided it's attached to a tunnel. So we should let's build it this side, because this is where they're coming from in the beginning. They're also becoming the spores will also be coming from the other side, but for now, let's just protect this one side with some cannons.
I think a few more.
Hospital. So this is what we need if people get sick, obviously. So this is a very important building that we can't even place there. Let's see. People aren't too happy up here. Let's try to solve that by giving them one of the good buildings here. Ooh, an update from command.
This is pretty amazing. Vori, are you on?
Jack, where are you?
So let's listen
Studying
to
the
this.
flora just outside the Van Colony. I found a strain of plant that closely mimics.
So while we're all slaving away on the colony ship, you've been off picking flowers?
If by that you mean has the expedition's only qualified botanist been doing his job, then yes. Yes, he has. Here, Euros. Let me send you a picture of this flower.
Yes. I cannot wait to see this plant. It sounds amazing.
Oh, man. You are gonna love this picture of my flower, Euros. It's got these two big, fat, pink petals on it.
Jack,
Yeah, the freezing
just
screen
forwarded
effect
a
is
picture
pretty
of your
awesome.
butt to the entire colony ship.
It is pretty awesome.
Wait,
It's
what?
because it's
Jack,
more than just
how
your
many times
world
do I have to
freezing,
remind
it's the
you
entire
about
screen.
proper protocols for internal communications.
What?
Yeah,
No way, you gotta be...
it
No!
definitely has
I meant to send that just to
similarities to SimCity for sure,
Instant
but
That's it.
where
I'm suspending
SimCity
your
typically
portal until further notice.
it's just
It
an
was
open-ended,
completely
you build a
innocent
city,
mistake. Really, I
and
meant to scan
you
the
know,
flower
then you have
and
a cool
I
city.
must have pointed
This
the scanner
is
the wrong
more,
way.
I'm also
you
recommending
know,
immediate
other than just being a
disciplinary
space, it has an
action.
actual
Sorry
story,
about
an actual campaign to it, an actual
I'm taking the
progression,
call
and you will
offline while I do
learn
that
new
work.
things as you go, and new things will challenge you and threaten you. So without giving away too much, things get more they get more difficult than they are right now, for sure. Well, that's part of the fun, trying to stay alive. There are several different biomes in the game, so as you might have seen, there are desert and snow planets as well, and they all have different sort of challenges that make it difficult to survive. So right now, for instance, I can basically put food anywhere, but that's not the case on the other two biomes.
Jack, I deleted that twerp. You can explain yourself to Commissioner
Yeah,
Veronica later.
graphics are pretty
In
awesome
the
on this.
meantime, perhaps
Here's
you'd
the
like to introduce
awesome snow
yourself
effect
to the
again.
new colony governor of
Freezing
Van.
effect
Are
even.
you serious? The governor is in on this call?
Yes, Jack.
Ooh, looks
And
like
you're
our
lucky the governor
storage
didn't
is full
get that
and air
twerp.
quality
Oh,
is
You're a
going
living
down.
legend from old Earth. What did you say your
So
name
we're
was?
actually,
I don't think you'll get much
do believe we're
information.
kind of
The
close to
governor is
finishing the
deciding.
mission.
They say you were the mayor of New York City and helped
I'm not
her
sure if
build
we're
it
gonna get
out.
nanites fast enough to actually
I am
build
honored
this.
to be working with
The governor is not your boss, Jack. You don't need to brown nose.
you. I'm not brown nosing. I'm schmoozing. There's a difference.
Ooh, I love this little monkey guy.
Not the stupid dancing gorilla again.
I know you love the dancing gorilla, Vori. Don't try to deny it.
And aren't you supposed to be prepping
Yeah, the
for the
nanites might
Senegal
take too long.
expedition right now?
Don't worry, Governor. We're not all as uptight as Vori. Some of us have a sense of humor and can talk about things other than.
I do really love some of the dialogue on this.
Jack,
There are some
Please
some
don't
fun
leave that
comments on stuff
insubordination
like
to the
Twitter
report I'm filing for the
and
commissioner.
other social media
Thanks for proving
platforms
my point.
that you guys can look
Jack
forward to
Doran,
when you
signing
dive
off.
in.
As you recall, the Constitution guarantees your citizens the right to vote on their colony governor. It looks like that time is upon us again.
So, oh, the happiness will go way down because the air quality sucks. So let's do something about that. I don't want to end up failing. So yeah, the air quality out here is horrendous. So we need to do something about that.
Hi, boss. I've compiled some feedback to help
Ooh,
guide
that's
you
not
in
good.
the upcoming
It's going the
referendum.
wrong way.
It has become a problem in your colony.
We have a bit of time
I
to
hope you'll
fix it.
resolve the situation swiftly.
See if we can make our people a bit happier. What else do they want? Health. Well, we might build a hospital in this end of the town, or the colony. Yeah. Let's build one here.
I've consulted with the inhabitants of the colony, and they've given me some feedback that might
Cutting
help.
it close with happiness. Maybe I end up failing just before the stream ends. Unless I turn around. 53. You can do it. You don't build any underground stuff in this. Everything is above ground.
There's a referendum election coming up soon, and I have some feedback from your colonists. Hi, boss. I
Cutting it
compiled
very
some
close.
feedback to help guide you in the
Referendum.
upcoming referendum.
55. It's going up. It's going our way. Last minute save. So food is actually going down right now, which is not good. That might be why people are unhappy, actually. Could very well be why. Yeah, the lakes will freeze over entirely, which is, just speaks of how insanely cold it gets during the winter. Which makes it quite obvious why the farms are dying, basically, during that time. Not doing much. So let's see, we're not producing very much food. Should keep working on that. Oh yeah, unfortunately I'm not gonna finish the mission today. I don't have enough time to wait for the nanite to get to 360. But maybe I can save, I can fix the food
Congratulations on your
problem.
referendum victory, boss.
At least. Can never have too much
reports
food.
of low food supplies are quite concerning. Please make sure your colony.
So this is, I built this during the cutscene earlier. Basically this is the sodium generator I mentioned before that runs on, let me see if I can find one of them. One of these crystals, one of these guys. And they are the most powerful way of, electricity resource. But they do require you to have that mineral, so if you don't have that, you lose all the power. But now you can see we suddenly have almost 200 power more than we need, which is pretty awesome. The problem is still there, but it looks to be going in the right way. Kinda. Well, it's still going down. It's not good. It's not good. So basically, build more farms than I did today, and you'll be fine. So, yeah, to anyone that might have joined after we started, basically. So this game, Aven Colony, hits Steam, PS4, and Xbox One on Tuesday. And yeah, we're very excited about it. This is a cool little space colonization game with a very funny story, so look forward to experiencing that. So here are cannons in action, protecting our colony. Yeah, I think the food is definitely not good. So, yeah. Do better. Promise me you'll do better. Basically, we're gonna end the stream with my people almost starving, so it's not good. And what happens when they starve is they obviously all die. And they die pretty quickly, actually, so this is something you want to make sure never happens to you. The food. Almost at 0. well, any last minute questions, guys? Gonna wrap it up in about 1 minute. So anything you want to know before my people start dying from starvation? Yeah, I mean, desperate times, right? Desperate times. So now, oof, as you can see, everyone starts dying from starvation. Well, just promise me you'll do better and you'll colonize this planet in no time. Alright guys, well, enemy armies. Well, I'm not gonna spoil everything that might be coming for you, but you will not have enemies marching in, I can promise you that much. But there are definitely other things that make your life on Aven Prime a difficult one. Yeah, alright, well, that's it for now, guys. We're ending on people starving to death, so not a high note, but do make sure to, if the game looks like it's something you might enjoy, do check it out. It's out on Tuesday. Pre-orders are live. You can save 10% if you put in a pre-order, and you actually get an additional sandbox map for free as well with the pre-order. So yeah, do take a look. It's up on Steam, PS4 and Xbox One, out on Tuesday. So that's it. Thanks guys, I hope you had fun. Bye.